back again, guys. So the story I've got for you today is about a shocking UK court ruling which has stripped the Leeds a mayoress in Leeds called Aigail Katung, and she's the wife of the Nigerian senator known as Sunday Katung. So apparently this case involving them stemmed from the purchase of a £1 million home here in the UK, and this purchase or this the purchase of this home got them into hot soup because of the transfer of £400,000 from Nigeria allegedly into the UK to buy this home. So without wasting much of your time, guys, let's dive into their story. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back again to my channel. My name is Wemimo, and I'm also known as Start Mom of 5 and also known as TMO5 Kanduko. If you're new to my channel, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always coming back. So just like I said in the intro there, a Nigerian couple, one of the husband is a representative, one of the senators in Nigeria, and his wife is a mayor here in Leeds. So the story happened that they bought a home worth of £1 million, and the first payment that the wife made was a small payment towards the purchase of the home, while she went on to make another payment towards the home, which is over £400,000. So now the problem now here is that the courts, the UK government are like obviously frowning their face, like, can you account for how that £400,000 was paid? Because that is a lot of money. That is a lot of money, especially when you are claiming that that money came from Nigeria. So with all the explanation this senator's wife gave to them in the UK, the judge was not happy with it. The judge was not happy with it. And trust me, guys, in this country, as long as you make that money here in the UK, that money can be traced. But if you now make a purchase or you are buying something and they are not able to actually, trace that money, trust me, HMRC, UK courts, everybody, they'll be after you, asking you to prove where that money came from. Apparently, the explanation that this woman gave, this senator's wife gave, the UK government are not happy with it. The UK courts are not happy with it. So, guys, let's read the story together and then let me know your thought and opinion if you think or if you believe the story of this senator's wife and how they were able to raise the £400,000 towards their £1 million home. Like, guys, a home in Leeds, £1 million. Okay, guys, let me share my screen with you and let's read the story together because it's a very long read. So I'm just going to bring you so we can read it together. Okay. So according to the Premium Times, this is the news from the Premium Times ng.com. And they did say here that, exclusive wife of Nigerian senator in money laundering mess in the UK. I hope you guys can see my screen clearly there because I'm trying to share the news with you. So it did say that she told a UK court that some of the money involved was sourced by her husband, who has been elected as a lawmaker. And you guys can see that this story was shared or was released on the 10th of June of this year. So let's read the story together. It says here that the UK High Court Justice at King's Bench Division has granted a forfeiture order on a property occupied by the Lord Mayor of Leeds, Aigail Katung. Premium Times can exclusively report. Okay, the court ordered the UK National Crime Agency to take possession and recover the property. Wow, a property of £1 million, which was originally owned by wealthy businessman Mansour Hussain. Investigators have previously accused him of being a money launderer for major crime laws in the north of England. So it's looking as if that this man, who is the seller of the home, who owns the home, Mansour Hussain, has actually involved this senator and her husband into some unknown business they might not even be aware that this man is involved in. As you guys can see from that right up there, that this man, Mansour Hussain, is known as a money launderer, okay, allegedly. But let's continue. Mrs. Katung, the wife of Sunday Katung, Nigerian senator representing Kaduna South Senatorial District, currently occupies the property with her 2 children. She had signed a contract of sale agreement in 2015, the year her husband was first elected to the House of Representatives, to buy the property from Mr. Hussain at an agreed price of £1 million. I didn't know that houses are that expensive in Leeds. Wow. Okay, so the story continues. As part of the deal, Mrs. Katung made a deposit of £400,000 in 2 tranches. So the first payment she made was £40,000, and then she went on to make the second transfer of £360,000, which were paid directly to Mr. Hussain's bank account. UK court filers, and again, when you're buying such house, I would imagine that you do a down payment and maybe go through a mortgage, because why are you paying £1 million or £400,000 for a house. I understand some people buy their house outrightly, but then let me not say too much. Let me not say anything that is going to make this case look so much. But let's keep reading. UK court filings obtained by Premium Times suggested money laundering activities in Mrs. Katung's initial deposit, which was the £360,000, which was made between April and May 2015, several days after her husband's election and days before his June inauguration as a lawmaker. So the UK High Court investigated the source of the £360,000 originated from Nigeria, with Mrs. Katung explaining that due to the new government policies in 2015, if I find what that new policy is, I'm going to leave the link in the description box so you can go read about it. I don't know about these government policies, but if I find it, I'll bring it here for you guys, okay? She used the black market to transfer funds from Nigeria to England. She said some of the funds were sourced by her husband, okay? They don't have a problem with that, but you need to be able to show the proof of that fund. However, there are questions regarding the transfer process, and Mrs. Katung did not disclose documentation to prove that the transaction was lawful. That is where the wahala started. Like, you know what? If you're bringing any money that has not been made in the UK into the UK, you need to make sure that your documentation on how to prove where this money comes from is legit. So the problem here was that she was not able to disclose the documentation to prove where the money came from or how that money was sourced. At some point, she did brought the proof, but the court they were not happy with it. No, if you are doing something with the government or with the court in this country, if you are not bringing that information straight with you when you have a case with them and you're bringing this later, it will be hard for you to go beyond what they've actually accused you or allegedly accused you from. So let's say when they asked her to bring that proof the first time, she was able to bring the proof straight away. It might not end up the way it has led to our property being forfeited. But now bringing the information later on and they were not even happy with it, that's a long thing. That's like reaching, okay? Let's continue reading the story. So in an oral interview, she told the court that her husband obtained a loan of 120 million from a Nigerian bank and then used a bureau de change operator, BDCs, in Nigeria to exchange naira into pounds sterling and remit it to a Barclays bank account in the name of First Resource, a company owned by Mrs. Katung. So I believe this purchase was made in 2015. I don't know what the exchange rate was then, but if I find it, I'll put it on the screen. And would 120 million naira automatically gives you £360,000 as of 2015? I don't know, but once I'm editing this video back, I'll put those information on the screen for you. All right. So let's continue reading. It says here that Mrs. Katung sent the court extract from bank statement purportedly showing transfers her husband made to bureau de change operators in Nigeria, who then used agents in the UK to get the money to her via company's account of First Resource. The judge held that the use of Mrs. Katung's company for the purpose of that transaction was improper, but the mayoress of Leeds maintained that she did that because it was easier to transfer money from a company account than a personal account. I actually agree with that, especially money of that amount. It's better you transfer through a company's account if you have one. But if you don't have a company's account, you might need to find other means. Anyway, the court also found that majority of payments made into the bank account of First Resource could not have been from UK agents of BDCs in Nigeria. So that's where the problem is starting from now, that all the money they found cannot be through the black market that this woman is claiming. So Mrs. Katung told the court that in addition to the agents, she relied to a limited extent on family and friends to assist her with currency exchange and make the payments. Obviously, she's not trying to claim that every other money they found in her business account were possibly from maybe friends and family. Guys, what do you think about that? I don't want to drop any opinion in regards to this. I'm just bringing the story to you guys. But me reading that statement there, I think I know what's happening here. Okay, but no, I'm not leaving my thoughts. You guys leave your thoughts and opinion in the comment section if you understand what that statement there, if you understand what it actually meant, leave your thoughts and opinion in the comment section. So, not satisfied with Mrs. Katung's oral explanation and that of a lawyer, the judge said she should prepare a defense and provide an, in quotes, adequate documented explanation of what happened in 2015. In quotes, she has failed to do that, the judge said, adding, in quote, it was incumbent on her to take proactive steps to ensure that a properly evidenced account was given to the court. In quote, surprisingly, Mrs. Katung's witness statement in these proceedings did not address how the payments were made, nor did they seek to explain what she said at interview. More surprisingly, Mrs. Katung has disclosed very little documentation which bears on these transfers, and there is no witness statement from her husband. These are telling omissions from which I draw an adverse inference, the judge says. So you guys see there, she's not able to prove she's not able to prove clearly where this money come from, how it was transferred, evidence. And also, you will have thought that her husband will have given a statement to say, okay, I was the one who took out this loan. This was how this money was transferred. There was nothing like that. So the judge is saying that he or she's not happy with the explanation Mrs. Katung has given, which means that you guys remember the person that sold the house, Mansour Hussein. You guys knew from the beginning of this story that he was a known money launderer. So in a way, they are allegedly linking money laundering into the case of this property management involving this our senator and his wife. I hope you guys understand this story. At the hearing, Mrs. Katung sought to rely on an attestation from one Mubarak Suleiman of My Honey Oil Interbiz Limited, which purports to prove that her husband was a client of Honey Oil and a licensed bureau de change in Nigeria. However, using open source research, investigators said the Central Bank of Nigeria's list of licensed bureau de change as of June 2021 shows no trace of Honey Oil. Okay. Therefore, the judge ruled that Mrs. Katung was, in quotes, only conducting a business in foreign exchange transactions to circumvent Nigerian foreign exchange regulations and or to avoid a punitive exchange rate. The judge added that he was satisfied on the, in quote, balance of probabilities that some of the BDCs mentioned by Mrs. Katung were not even licensed to undertake foreign exchange transactions in Nigeria. We all know that black markets. In quote, I reached my conclusion on the basis of paragraph 72 of Mr. Cole's 8th witness statement. 2, the adverse inference to be drawn from the honey oil material. And 3, the adverse inferences to be drawn from Mrs. Katung's failure to file a witness statement from her husband and to disclose relevant documentation, the judge said. At some point, the husband did file a statement, but I guess it was too late at the stage of this case. The NCA contends that the entire property, including the deposit made by Mrs. Katung, represented money obtained by the criminal conduct. Hence, the property was recoverable property under the UK Proceeds of Crime Act 2002. So they're now saying that because Mrs. Katung is not able to prove diligently, efficiently, how this money was made, how they were able to transfer it into the UK, that this property is as a result of a proceed of crime. So with what Mrs. Katung has given to the court so far, the court did not believe that this money is not a laundered money. That is what this case has surmised. So this is a summary of the case. She has failed to prove that exactly 120 million came from Nigeria, sent by her husband. She has failed to prove that that money was sent by a bureau de change. And I know there are some black market bureau de change. Even at that, the court still says that she has failed to prove all of these things. She has also failed to bring, proof of where she felt that she claimed that the money must have come from, which is the only oil that her husband is an affiliate of that business. All of the things did not actually help in her favor because, like I said, if you want to fight a case like this, you need to come strong with your evidences. So let's read the concluding part. So the NCA, like I said, the NCA are taking the property, the £1 million property. I don't know how much that property will be worth now. Okay, this case I believe was 2015, but we are now hearing of it in 2025. So in his judgment delivered on the 6th of June, Justice J ruled that the property and its possession should be recovered by the NCA. The judge noted that the civil recovery order, which has already been made in the NCA's favor under Section 266 of POCA, should be treated as vesting the entirety of the property in the trustee. In quote, and that no credit falls to be given for the value of the deposit payment made by Mrs. Katung. Mrs. Katung's lawyer considered that with this conclusion, his client's sums in question would have to be treated as, in quote, recoverable property for the purpose of POCA regime. However, the judge shielded Mrs. Katung from having any knowledge of Mr. Hussein's criminal activities. So as it is now, they did not even know that Mr. Hussein Mansour. So Mrs. Katung did not even know the legal business of Mr. Hussein's. So maybe if she knew, she would have not bought that property from Mr. Mansour. And as it is, it's a little bit too late. So guys, I hope you understand the entirety of that story. So if you are buying any property at all in the UK and that money that you're using to buy the property has not been made in the UK, you need to make sure you have all of your documents to prove where that money originated from. So just in this case now, this woman bought a house of £1 million. Yes, she does not know the criminal case of Mansour Hussein, the person whom she bought the property for. That man has a case, is known for money laundering. She was not aware of this. She was not aware of this before she bought the property. But then the way she has gone on to make the payment for this property is what the court did not believe. Obviously, they believe that in a way, they actually thought that she was actually allegedly involved in money laundering. So now she has lost that house because the courts are saying that that house is going to be taken and classed as a property that has been derived from the proceed of crime. Maybe in the future, if she's able to prove that yes, her husband, like I said, her husband brought evidence of, was able to say, oh, I got this loan for her, but the costs were still not satisfied. So if you are in a business in the UK and the UK government are not able to trace your money, and you want to use that money to do business in the UK, or you want to buy something, be very, very careful. And if maybe you have property back home in Nigeria that you want to sell in order to be able to do something, make sure you gather all your evidence. Make sure your evidence is full, is complete, so that when you find yourself, God forbid you find yourself in this case, if you find yourself in cases like this, you'll be able to defend where your money came from, how it was transferred. Keep documentation. Guys, let me know your thought and opinion in the comment section. Do you actually believe that the money that this senator and his wife got was legit money, or do you think that it was allegedly money got from proceed of crime? In this case, I cannot say. I don't want to hear my opinion, but you guys, I don't know if you've seen the story, but from what I've read so far, leave your thought and opinion in the comment section. And I beg, which bank is giving people 120 million naira loan in Nigeria? Guys, let me go. I don't want to make this video much longer as it is. If you watch this video till now and you've not yet subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Don't forget to drop a comment in the comment section, subscribe if you've not yet done so, turn on your post notification, share this video. Do not hesitate to join my membership, and I'll have to catch up with you in another video. All right, bye for now. Bye.